everyone, welcome to the Planet Pop YouTube channel. Queen Elizabeth II, the longest-serving monarch in British history, died at the age of 96, ending the second Elizabethan era in Great Britain. She died peacefully on Thursday afternoon, 2 days after her final public constitutional duty and the appointment of the 15th Prime Minister of her 70-year reign. With the death of Queen Elizabeth, Prince Charles became the new king. The Duchess of Cornwall became the new queen consort. The death of Queen Elizabeth means great sadness to the king and his family. If you want more of this content, subscribe to the Planet Pop YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. In a statement on Thursday, the king said, "The death of my beloved mother, Her Majesty the Queen, is a moment of the greatest sadness for me and all the members of my family. We mourn profoundly the passing of a cherished sovereign and a much-loved mother. I know her loss will be deeply felt throughout the country, the realms, and the Commonwealth, and by the countless people around the world. During this period of mourning and change, my family and I will be comforted and sustained by our knowledge of the respect and deep affection in which the Queen was so widely held." Queen Elizabeth II led Britain from the era of steam to smartphones. She passed away peacefully in Balmoral, Scotland, in September 8, according to a statement from Buckingham Palace. Elizabeth ascended as Queen of England in 1952. However, her reign was a time of great political upheaval. During this time, the UK was in decline and there were constant calls for Scottish independence or for Britain to leave the European Union. Elizabeth surpassed the record set by the reign of Queen Victoria. She was the nation's figurehead and was a towering presence on the world stage for 7 decades. A royal health deterioration was announced early, prompting the Queen's family to rush to be with her in Scotland. During the midday hours on Thursday, there was an unbearable hush when the flag came down in London following the tragic death of Queen Elizabeth II. An enormous crowd surged towards the gates as Brits learned of their monarch's passing, creating a more somber silence. Royal officials said King Charles III and his wife Camilla, the Queen consort, would remain at Balmoral before returning to London on Friday. Details of the funeral have not been confirmed. In the wake of Elizabeth's death, Charles automatically became head of state in Britain, along with Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. After 12:32 p.m., Buckingham Palace announced in a statement that she had been placed under medical supervision at Balmoral. All 4 of her children rushed to Balmoral as soon as they found out that their mother was being treated. Charles was the first to arrive, later followed by the Duke of Cambridge, Duke of York, Earl, and Countess of Wessex. The Duke of Sussex arrived at RAF Northolt a little later. At 6:30 p.m., Buckingham Palace released its official statement. Their flag was lowered at half-mast. In a time of mourning, the Prime Minister Liz Truss referred to the passing of the second Elizabethan age from outside Downing Street. Truss lauded the monarch's dignity and grace and a life of service that stretched beyond most of our living memories. She ended with the words, "God save the King." After Elizabeth reigned for 60 years, her popularity was rehabilitated after a time when it was blasted in the media. She came out to celebrate a jubilee, and as London hosted the Olympic Games, multiple people thronged the streets of London during the 4 days of the Diamond Jubilee celebrations. The celebration of her Platinum Jubilee, celebrating her reign to date, was marked by the thin group comprising direct heirs to the throne and their immediate family. They appeared on the balcony of Buckingham Palace. In a defining moment of the continuity of monarchy, her heir Prince Charles and her first son Prince William paid public tributes to the Queen. They were in front of a crowd of tens of thousands who filled the area around the palace for a live concert. One of the biggest challenges during her reign came from the media focusing on her family's private lives. Elizabeth had been incapable of attending public engagements for the last few months with health issues, meaning she has been off the scene for almost all of her engagements. She had been suffering from what Buckingham Palace had called episodic mobility problems since the end of 2021. Truss also stated, "The death of Her Majesty the Queen is a huge shock to the nation and to the world." The flag at Downing Street office, like those at royal palaces and government buildings throughout Britain, was lowered. Through thick and thin, Queen Elizabeth II provided us with the stability and strength that we needed. She was the very spirit of Great Britain, and that spirit will endure. Leaders around the world have sent condolences to the UK. US President Joe Biden, alongside the First Lady Jill Biden, made a joint statement to express their condolences towards Queen Elizabeth II's life. According to their statement, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II was more than a monarch. She defined an era. In times of constant change, they added, she had been a steadying presence and a source of comfort and pride for generations of Britons, including many who have never known their country without her. As tributes poured in from across the globe, the nation entered a period of official mourning, which began on Friday and will end after 10 days. The traditional way in which officials announced the death of their queen outside Buckingham Palace left many weeping. Elizabeth II was accorded a state funeral at Westminster Abbey on Monday, 19th of September. She was laid to rest at St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh before being flown to London for her official lying-in state. That's it for this video, Planeo Pop fan. Remember to subscribe to our channel for all the latest celebrity news and gossip. It's like candy you can't stop eating. We'll cover what celebrities are wearing, who's dating who, and not dating anymore. It's hard to keep up with the recent happenings in their lives, so we'll satisfy your gossip fix daily. Comment below if there's a celebrity in particular you want us to cover or a juicy news tip you'd like to share.